Hello everyone and welcome to CWC Season 7 F2 Round 17 for the Brazilian GP. I am Pepsi212 ROP Yuki. You can call me whatever you like, but we're here another fine Monday for another round of the CWC calendar. And there's only 2 rounds left after this. We got Brazil, Abu Dhabi, and China, and the championship battle is heating up with a lot still to play for and a lot still to go after. As I will quickly pull up the standings real fast. Had them already loaded, but sometimes on Discord on mobile, it's a bit hard to read the image, so I'm just going to zoom in real fast, and I will tell you the standings as we go. But while we wait for that to load up, you can see we're going to have a nice field here, 11 drivers, maybe we can get 12 in here, because we have 1 joining late, but it's going to be a nice full field, and maybe someone can bring the heat to Kai's F1. He was not here last round. The last round went to... it went to Kenobi, who came in as a one-off and won Mexico. If I'm not mistaken, he did. And sadly, again, internet did go out, so we did miss that finish, but it was still a good race from what I heard. A little boring from some perspectives in the back, but it was still a fun race indeed. So quickly looking at the driver standings here. I have to flip over. I have to, again, great website. Smitty did almost credit the wrong McLaren driver. He's done a great work on this website, and it's very nice to look at, and all credit to him for what he's done for this league. But anyway, Kai's F1 leads the way with 194 points. Maddie at 189 and Smitty at 186, and if Kenobi is at 179, that is basically your top 4 that are left in contention. Lazy, I guess, is still, or Lesty is still technically in mathematical contention if my math is correct, but he would need a snowball's chance and you-know-where in order to get into this. But still all to play for with 3 rounds left, but someone is going to have to stop Kai's F1. If he has a bad form, one of the McLaren drivers could take over. Now looking on to the constructors, we could have our first clinch of the season. Now in the F1 tier, there was a champion decided in at least the driver standings, but in the constructors real fast, McLaren could clinch here today with both Mercedes drivers here. It could still be off the points, but with 3 races left, McLaren has a 129-point lead, so McLaren needs 4 points tonight total to lock up the constructors. Now, before we start the race, I do want to say one more thing. Sadly, in the TTML community, we lost a driver here today, which is a bit on the sad side. NSX Mads sadly, tragically passed away last week, and honor his memory and his life and what he's done for this league and all that, we will be holding a 1 minute of silence. It's about to start now, so again, thank you, NSX Mads. Never personally met the person, but from what I've heard, he was a good person, so Godspeed to wherever he is. So that 1 minute of silence will start now. Again, forever in our hearts. But now we will move on to CWC here, as we do have a little bit of a cloudy session here. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a possible rain on the horizon. We know Brazil is known for its rain. Again, do not have a weather app, so I can't really tell you what the conditions are going to be, but at least looking at that cloud coverage, there's always at least a chance around Brazil that there could be rain. We know Abu Dhabi probably won't have any rain next week, and China could have it as well, so we'll have to wait and see on that front. So let me just put me phone on charge. We have 13 drivers. Good to see a somewhat competitive field here at the very least. And again, hopefully they put on a show for the people here today, I guess they would say. Reds had a pretty strong race last week, if I'm not mistaken, before, again, my stream sadly went out. But took pole position, looked pretty strong, so he could be in someone that could bring the challenge of Kai's F1. We also know Kermit's got some pretty good pace as well, along with Lesty and a few others. So, well, again, have to wait and see. But remember, Smitty and Maddie looking to lock the constructors up, and at the very least, trying to bring the hurt to Kai's F1. So here we go. First driver coming out, I believe, was going to be Kai's F1, and it was not Kai's F1. It was Red's, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was. We do see a big train coming out just behind him as I got to put the track map on. 17 weeks in, always seem to forget something in my check. Oh, it's going to be a dry quali and race, so a little bit of a shame. Thank you, Lesty, the weatherman, for bringing this in, and evening to you as well. Now, we'll take a quick look at the tires. We see Reds is on a set of mediums, and Infinity out on a set of softs, and Fear by Gaming on a set of mediums. You can get the mediums to work around here, and a one-stop is definitely feasible. So 2 is probably in a 50% race. I know 25% it's 1, and I think in a 50% race, yeah, 2 is going to be the ideal. But doing the alternate strategy could work out quite well. So here comes Reds. He's about to start his run here. As we'll ride on board him, the number 42, Aston Martin. So here he comes, opening DRS. Going to kind of pinch in, and this is going to be where you're going to see a lot of the passes happen here, where you see a lot of good toes. Want to get close as you can, but not invalidating. And here we go. Pass, start, finish straight. Down in the corner 1 into the center S. It's going to be a tight 1-2, where, again, it's very easy to kind of lock it up and go a little bit too wide, or get a bad exit, or invalidate if you try to get the straightest of a corner. Brake on off to the Curva del Sol. Going to break it in, keep it in 7th gear. Flat out for this part here, down the Red Oposia. And where Hamilton Verstappen had a little bit of a moment many weeks ago, you're going to brake hard in the corner 4. Get a good exit off 5, keep your throttle in it, and this is probably one of my favorite circuits in game for this corner up here as well, where you can break it in, get it in 6, pinch it in, try to let off just a tad, hit hard, and then you're going to go in the corner 8, where you got to get it down in the 2nd gear, maybe first to get a good rotation, a little bit too much rotation for Reds, and he's invalidated, but we'll keep on just to show you how the rest of this lap goes. Through Pinito, then you're going to go into corner 10. My Portuguese is a little bit rough. Going to go on the exit of that corner. Then you're going to go to the Merligilo. And then you're going to brake hard. I should probably stop butchering names, so I'll just stay in the rest of the corners now. In the 12, going to come 3-4. Don't go a little bit too wide again. It's very easy to loop it on little to no traction there. That's one of those corners that can catch you napping. Then down the long straight, we're DRS, ERS, and we're going to see a lot of passing. Red's coming down the long straight. In the corner 15, he's going to pull in the pit lanes, but there would have been the start-finish line, and that would have been a lap. So we're instead going to cut back onto someone else. So Infinity was next up. So we'll see what they can do in their Alfa Romeo, and it's going to be P1 with a 107.997 for the Alfa Romeo driver. And we got a Ferrari right on by, and that's Fear by Gaming. He usually put down okay quality runs, and it's going to be, well, I guess he invalidated, so no run for him. Next up is Smitty right up behind, along with Maddie. Maddie P2 with a 108.302. Here comes Smitty on a set of softs. What can he do? 3rd in the standings. Now will be pole position. So 3rd in the standings, but now it's provisional pole. Next up after that, we do got Jay Leakey in his Williams. So we'll see what he can do as he takes the long run down the corner here, break it on across the line. That will be P4 for Jay Leakey, a 108.661. Yellow flag sector 1, sector 2. I think that is Smitty on a slow lap. It actually it's Maddie. Maddie feels, wants to conserve his stuff and bring it back around to go again. Next up is Kyle VGB back here again. We'll see what he can do, and it'll be P5 for him. Next on up behind him is the Red Bull of Collins, and that will be P6 for them. So 5-6 for both. After them is the other Williams Lesty. He's about to start his outrun. So again, usually 1 lap. If you're on a set of mediums, you may gun for a second. We know Collins loves to go around multiple times and get rubbered up. Shocked that Exelic has not gone out, because he's usually one of the first drivers to head on out. So again, a bit of a shock there, but different strategies for different folks. As I do feel big Fear by Gaming up, he's now up to P6 on his run. So anyway, as we continue on, as we push on through here, going to see who the next one up. We got both McLarens, but I think one is on a cooldown run. Yep, Smitty is on a cooldown run along with Maddie. So next up is Jay Leakey again. I think he'll be pulling in as well. Yes, he will. So top 4 all coming back in. Then we're going to cut on board with the birthday boys. He's 10 temps up here. Or girl, I don't know his gender, but we'll assume the birthday person is now currently P5 in the Ferrari, looking to have some good results here on his birthday. Past the Emirates sign, gonna go break it, and he's gonna have a cooldown run, so no birthday pole run yet for Kyle VG. So again, happy birthday. I've said it 4 times, let's make it a 5th. Here comes Collins. He doesn't validate just on exit. We got in the distance, you see Scanning. He's about to start his run, so keep an eye on Scanning. Right behind him both is Leslie the Twig. What can he do? The British driver goes P6 on a set of mediums. Fastest on the mediums, but that's only P6 for him, as they would say. So Scandy right now is one of the only drivers on a run. We'll see if Lesty continues on, but he usually likes to only do one and done. So we'll see at the end of Sector 1 times if he's still putting down competitive runs. Yeah, 1.3 down. I assume he's on a cool down run. So we're going to keep on board with Scanny. Only driver on a pole. The Sun, a pole run as they would say. Scanny, Sun is out. Track's going to get a little bit warm. Collins up the road. Hopefully that does not interfere Scanny a little bit too much. So we know Collins is on his second lap on those mediums. And we know the softs are a little bit faster. So Scanny going to go hard, brake hard as well. You can see a little bit of tire smoke there. A little tire smoke, I would say. A little tire tracks as someone was broke hard earlier. So here comes Scanny. Going to get a good exit off the third corner. He can set himself nice up for the long run. Sector 2 looks okay. Gets a relatively okay exit. Kind of mounts the corner a little bit too much. Kais and Scanny are going to have a pretty good run here today in hopes of bad luck from the McLarens in order to have a chance in this Constructors. So here comes Scanny. Breaking down the hard. Going to get a little bit of tow from Collins. Will it be enough to launch up higher? It's P13 now. It will be P3 for him. So P3 for the Mercedes driver. And Collins also did improve as well with a P6, so both kind of helped each other out there. Scanny P3, Collins P6. Next driver out there is Exelic. Probably taking a little bit of a break. She is now going to be out on a run. Can she do something? We know Exelic and Scanny always love to have those internal battles, so we'll see what she can do here. Maybe get up there and challenge her for third or fourth or even higher. So right now on him, and we also do got our current pole points leader, mouthfuls, words are hard, Kai's F1. He is on a run as well, about to start a run on that lap once he gets around. And he is our current points leader, looking to maybe put a good time down on those mediums. Highest runner on mediums is 6. As there he goes, a little bit squirrely. He'll save it off the wall there, but could have easily ended the session and making this a last to first challenge. But luckily, no damage, no anything really other than those tires maybe a little bit on the roasted side, but as long as he kind of cools tempers down, he may be okay, but he may not get the best optimal lap out of those tires. So back to Scanny. We'll see if he does the second run. I think he is coming in. Yes, he is. I assume Collins right on by will follow him in. Yes, he will. So those two follow in, and then we do got Jay Leakey on a run. So Jay Leakey is... Actually, Jay Leakey's going to start a run here as well. So Jay Leakey on a run currently in 5th, and we do have Exelic in 11th as well. And Exelic is currently in Sector 2, so we'll stay on board with her, and then we'll cut the Jay Leakey near the end. So Exelic going to kind of come hard. It scored 9 minutes ago, just under the 10-minute mark. So again, long to play for here, long session. Can go out there 1, 2 more, even 3 more times. If you have the tires for it, obviously. So no harm, no foul to kind of wait for the tire to get rubbered up, but don't want to wait too long and miss your shot, as they would say. So here comes Exelic down the long run. Going to pinch the apex here. Going to get an okay exit. We're going to see what she can do. Going to get in hard. Going to take the toe of the run. It's going to be a 1:08.934. P9 for Exelic. Next on a run behind them would be, if I remember, it is Jay Leakey. It is Jay Leakey. Jay Leakey's on a run, and you can see just on that teal dot, there's also Kai's F1 on a run as well. So Jay Leakey will be first. He's 2/10 up on his times. That would put him close to Maddie, but wouldn't be enough to leap him unless he can get a good third sector. We'll see what he can do on this long straight. How much aero is he running, and how much is he willing to de-sacrifice in order to make that car faster? Here he comes, Jay Leakey down the line. It's going to be a 1:08.201, and that will be P3 for the Britishman. But behind them there is Kai's F1 on his mediums. Only driver currently on a set of mediums. Well, as Infinity actually goes faster, I didn't think he would have got it, but he did. So Infinity P1, but what will Kai's F1 do? Can he snatch pull away from the Alfa Romeo driver? He cannot. It will be P6, just barely ahead of Collins. And it makes me wonder, maybe if Kai's F1 is struggling around the circuit a little bit. Maybe this isn't a circuit he's dominant at, and maybe, just maybe, that may give Maddie and Smitty some life. But Maddie is currently in Sector 1. He's on a run as Exelic has retired. They actually have crashed. So we're going to cut to Smitty and see what happened. Keep an eye out for that. Ooh, they crashed similar to what happened to Massa back in 2016. Bit of a shame, but Exelic will be starting most likely P... Well, if Fear by Gaming does approve, she'll start P12, but if Gaming does approve, it will be P13. Maddie on a run. We do got the Williams of Lesty about to start a run as well. We do got the Ferrari of, I believe it is Fear by Gaming. There goes Fear by Gaming. So Exelic will most likely start P13 if Kermit and Reds can put times down. But the Ferrari driver that's always good at one lap pace gets P2. Behind them both is Jay Leakey, who's coming in. So we next up is Smitty. Maddie, my mistake. Sorry, Maddie did have a purple Sector 2 according to the Flash. So we'll see what he can do on Sector 3. Can he get up the higher of the ground? Relatively close in the front and that middle run, and it will be P4 just behind their teammate. And behind them both is Kyle VGB. Can they get pole? No, they cannot. They haven't validated. It will be another run for them. Behind them both is Kai's F1 again. Have they improved? It looks like times look down, but we'll see what they can do. Will this flyer be any better? it will be still P7. Well, 12 seconds down. I thought that may have been a mistake, but that is correct. So he will still be P7 for him. Here comes Smitty, P3. Can he get up there? Can he jump Infinity Fear by Gaming? It's going to be a run for the British driver, and it's going to be pole position for the McLaren driver. A 107.563. So excited, he goes a little bit too wide. But don't celebrate yet. Here comes, well, I was going to say here comes Lesty, but Lesty didn't validate, but it would have been enough, almost enough for P3 if the lap held. But sadly, ifs and buts for candy and nuts, every day would be Christmas, so Leslie will have to go around again. So we do got I would not say Fear by Game. Kyle VG up first. Then behind them is Reds, who's on an outlap. Then we do got Kai's F1 on a third attempt. We'll see if he actually continues that, along with Scanny on an outlap. So we'll see what happens. So Kyle VGB, the birthday boy, here he comes, hits on the apex, gonna get a good pull off the line. It's gonna be a 108.333, P7 for them. Reds gonna cross the line. Here comes Kai's F1. He is gonna test this lap. He's 2 temps up, and it will be P5 on a set of mediums, but those mediums are 3 laps old, so we may see him go out on a set of softs. Behind them both, we do got Maddie, who's on a cooldown run. Smitty, who's also on a cooldown run. And I assume Lesty as well on a cooldown run as well. Best time is only on a set of mediums, and he's going to have to hurry around if he wants to put down a time on the softs. So Kermit on a run. Reds on a run, Reds on a run, and Scanny, so we'll keep an eye on both, but Reds hasn't validated again. Seems to be his main kryptonite the past 2 seasons is kind of... He's got good pace, but his one-lappers can always be a little bit of trouble in validation style. Where it seems like last week at Mexico, for instance, he was okay pace, but he invalidated on a second, third run and cost himself dearly. So he needs to keep it clean, even if he has to sacrifice some time, because it's better to be starting P5 than P13. But we do got Scanny on a run as well. Kai's on a slow down run, so we'll see what Scanny can do. P7 with a 108.240. If he can just improve a little bit, he'll get the P6. If he can improve a little bit more, he'll jump his teammate in P5. So here he comes down the run. Going to break hard. I wouldn't say break hard. Get close to that wall. And it's going to be a 126. And that will be P5 jumping his teammate, which is something you've not seen that much this season. Kai's what I think is running out of fuel, so he's limping around. So Collins on a run, so we'll keep an eye on Collins. He gets a little too close and it validates. Track limits can be a little bit of a pain on extreme, but them's the break sometimes. Brings me back to my old sim racing days. Even I still sim race. I wouldn't say my old sim racing days. I still do. Just not as much on F1. So, Red's on another attempt here. We'll see what he can do. It looks like I'll just check his telemetry to make sure he's got enough ERS. Not going to be the greatest run, but if he wants to do it, he can. Looks like he's taking it full throttle, so we'll see what he can do on this push. He's on a run. Collins will have to go around again to take a second attempt, but he always loves doing more than one lap. And he is on a fresh set off, so he may take a second attempt at it. Purple sector 2 according to that map, so this looks like it could be competitive. I think Scandy did a 51, if I'm not mistaken, on that point. So this could be good. So we'll see what he can do. Reds past the Emirates sign, 1 corner to go. How deep will he take it? Try not to invalidate. Gets as close as he can to the paint, and it's going to be a 107.224. So when he can put it all right, it will be a pole run for Reds. So Reds, P1 for him. So the only driver not to set a time is Kermit right now on track. Collins on a second push here. We'll see what he can do. 1/10 up on his times. So we'll see if he can not invalidate and put something down. Maybe he can jump a little bit higher. Maybe jump the birthday boy in 9th. So I believe Lesty is on another outlap along with Leaky. Leaky about to start his run here. So we'll see what he can do first. Both Williams drivers can. Lesty looking for a good run here. Struggling on a second attempt. Want to try to get himself out of the pits of despair and get that Williams a little bit higher up. But if he does start 11th, at least he'll have a free tire choice at the very least. So we'll keep an eye on Leaky. Then we'll cut back to Collins in a second. With, I think, a little under 3 minutes to go, if you're going to head out to the track, you probably want to make a move sooner rather than later. You can't hold as Leaky goes just a little bit too wide, and track limits rings him up, and that's run done. Back to Collins. Collins, 5 temps up. Can he make something work? It will be P9. He was dead landing down the straight there, but it will be enough to improve. Lesty actually pulls back in with 2 minutes to go. Maybe something wrong with setup. Maybe didn't fuel the car right. Maybe doesn't even feel comfortable, or maybe just wants to stay at P11. We'll have to wait and see what the Williams driver does. So maybe he wants to come back out one more time, take another attempt at it, and wait till the track's even more rubbered up with 2 minutes to go. Because a quick lap around, you can get 2 attempts, so he can wait this out just a little bit longer. So J-League, he hasn't validated. The Ferrari of, I think, Feared by Gaming is about to start a run. No, it's the other Ferrari of Kyle VG, who actually is on a run. well, just started a run, as they would say. So we'll see what he can do. As I think Fear by Game did lose the back end there, or else went a little bit too wide. But he will start his run as well with 2 minutes to go. So Gaming about to start a run. So we got Gaming, Collins, Kyle VG, and Jay Leakey all in pushes. So we'll kind of flip around. I do think we also got... Kai's F1's not out there, but Scanny is. Smitty as well. We can see a lot of Conga Line coming out there. Infinite as well. The Haas, a Kermit behind the other Mercedes, I believe, a Kai's F1. It is. So a lot of drivers pushing for pole run here with 1 minute 51 to go. Even the Aston Martin of, I believe, I want to say that is Reds, all going out again. So we'll have to wait and see what they can do. So we're going to cut back here. I'm going to see who the first one on the track is. If Collins has called the session, it'll be P9 for him, as high as he will take. Smitty just started a run, but the first driver on a push lap is Kyle VGB, 1/10 up. We'll see if he can get a good run down the straight. He is going to get a little bit of a toe to the driver behind him, with Scanny, but Scanny doesn't want that because he's not on a run yet, and we know Kyle may be only doing 1/10 of this, so he doesn't want to get held up too much. That could hurt Scanny. So Kyle, first one across the line, P9 for him. Scanny starts a run. Behind them both is Jay Leakey. He is invalidated, and I doubt he'll get another attempt at this. He'll probably go around one more time. Hopefully he has enough fuel in the car. Fear by Gaming P4, he has called the session by coming in here, and that will be curtains for him. Fear of Gaming, that's as high as he will take it. Kermit up next. He's about to cross the line along with Infinite. Can Infinite get pole position back? So we're going to cut back to Scan. He's at the end of Sector 1, 1/10 up. Right now looking good at P5, but with Matty on track, he could improve. So we got him up, then we got, I believe, I'm going to cut to Kermit next, because Kermit is there along with Infinite. Kermit has not put down a time, but Infinite has. We'll see what he can do. He's 3/10 up. That would put him currently P2 if it holds. This may be a track for Infinite, as I think a Ferrari is going a bit slow. Actually, it's Scanny has looped it. So Scanny will not be able to improve with a little bit of a mistake there. I don't know if he collided with the Ferrari, because the Ferrari is going a bit slow as well. He'll now just pull over and retire. Did not get a good look at it, and I think that is Jay Leakey, so it could have... Actually, I think Jay Leakey just retired, so never mind. I thought that was the other Williams, but that is Jay Leakey retiring on track, so his time will not count. So back to our runs here. We got Infinite and Kermit both coming up here. So we got Kermit at the end of Sector 2 now, and we do got Infinite on the ring as well, as I do see a slow McLaren. So maybe worth noting. So session has come to an end. Kermit's going to be first, and then Infinite second. So here comes Kermit. What can they do? P13 to P3 for them. Infinite up next. Lost some time in the second sector. I don't think it's going to be enough to improve. It is not. So P4 as high as they will go. Behind them both is Kai's F1. And speak of the devil, and it shall appear, pole position for him. Can anyone answer? Reds can answer. Can Leslie throw the counter in the wrench as well? It will not be him. It will be P4 for them. So only drivers left are Smitty and Matty, and I think Matty is on a run. Smitty is not, so Matty currently P2 in the points. What can he do? Can he take pole position away from Reds? It will be a 1:07.776, and it will not be enough. P7 for him, and Smitty is on a rundown. So that will be the end of session. Reds has bested Kai's. Smitty in third, Leslie in fourth, Kermit in fifth, Infinity in sixth, Matty in seventh, Gaming in 8th, Scanny in 9th, Jay Leakey in 10th, Kyle VGB in 11th, Collins 12th, and Exelic 13th. That will round out your top 13 here today. But Reds, showing why he was a championship contender last season, sadly could not make a majority of the calendar due to other commitments, but shows that he still got the pace. And definitely shows if he could put it right, he could be always a threat any given race weekend. And he may bring the thunder to the Kai's F1. Even Smitty not too far off as well, so definitely worth keeping an eye on. But that is session done. Reds first, Kai second, Smitty third, Leslie fourth. Already ran this over. Kermit fifth, Infinity sixth, Matty seventh, Aiming 8th, Scanny 9th, Leaky 10th, Kyle VGB 11th, Collins 12th, Exelic 13th, 11th, 12th, and 13th of Kyle VGB, Collins, and Exelic. All get free tire choice. Top 10, all get the standard tires there are. And you are correct, Leslie. 3 through 8th, only separated by 3/10. They are very close here in the back, so I think a lot of drivers here are going to get very icy-dicey, and you got to fight for all you can get. One mistake, and it may be a little bit hard to pull yourself out, because we've seen in previous weeks with some of the lower fields that when you get in a situation to hole, if you can just hold on, you'll get a good spot. But with a lot of drivers here, all kind of argy-bargy fighting, you're going to have to fight for everything you get, and points aren't guaranteed for anyone in this field. If you crash out early, it may be curtains for your points, and that could really hurt our championship contenders. But onward to the race. And we will let that take out here. I'm going to take one sip of water, and I will join you once the race starts. And here we go for the race. We wait for this to get all situated, get all rubbered in. You know, all the goodness of a race weekend. According to our local weatherman, Lesty, it is going to be a dry session, so no hint of rain. Much to probably the praise of the drivers and chagrin for myself a little bit for that chaos. Last minute changes being made. You can change the front wing, maybe change the tire strats. We'll see if anyone decides to go a little bit longer in the tooth. Maybe make a 2-stop viable, 3-stop even. The alternate of strategies. We know Brazil can provide safety cars, and they'll be close in the center S's, so we may see an early one. So maybe that will deter some people in 11th, 12th, and 13th for going on a set of mediums. But only time will tell. 3 seconds to go here. And we are ready. Gonna wait for the light to go out, and we will watch the formation lap. And while we're that, you see the projected strategies. 2-stop is usually the call. Some, if they can try it, maybe a 1 from softs to hards, but that would be a tall ask. Not impossible, but a tall ask. Only driver on a set of mediums is Collins in 12th. It will be a fresh set for him, but everyone else is going to elect to take a set of softs in this session, which is a little bit shocking, but I think Collins does maybe think a safety car comes out early, or if I get in an accident or something, I can pit on a set of hards and go longer in the tube. So maybe a bit of different strategies here. Reds leads the way. Kai 2nd, Smitty 3rd, Lesty 4th. Again, some drivers are in good form. Other drivers are a little bit of bad form here. So I think Lesty's had okay weeks, past couple weeks, no offense to him, but probably looking for strong performances. Kai's has been on a tear, but missing 1 week. Will that affect him a little bit? Maybe change off his composure. We do got Smitty and Maddie as well, both consistent in McLarens, but it usually seems like a flip-flop. Maddie had a better week last week than Smitty. Re-overtook 2nd, but Smitty's higher up the field. Scanning usually can provide some good results, but has been a bit of a downtrodden, similar to what happened with the early season of Reds, who started the season having trouble finishing, and now Reds on pole position. If he can have a strong run here today, could be back on the top step of the podium. I think that takes the field done. Quickly, while we wait for the lineup, I'll quickly say, if you like what you see, why not like and subscribe to League Racing TV, where there's tons of leagues that can run, including TTML coming back for the final 3 weeks after a 2-week break. You also got BNPL. You also got that Grand Chemiz League on Wednesdays, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's also it's either Tuesdays or Wednesdays, but one of my former co-commentators, Crime, Evil Dragons on com, so make sure you give them a good old watch there. And yeah, you can also follow them at League Racing TV, and also with CWC coming to an end, you can join the grid. There should be some information in the Discord, the description. Follow that, and you can let some people know, and they'll get it there. Have to get ready to this race here. And quick top 3 prediction, I'm going to say we'll go Kai's, Reds, Lesty. That's your top 3. So that's your predictions. Waiting for the 5 red lights. And away they go. A little bit of a quicker start there. Looks like Reds doesn't get as good of a jump as Kai's, and Kai's will lead, at least in the inside for corner 1 here. Can he hold the spot? They're still side by side. A little bit argy at the back. You can see it 3 wide, 4 wide as well. I do see a Ferrari wrong way around. That is Feared by Gaming. Reds will hold the spot on Kai's F1. Lesty still 3rd, Smitty 4th, Infinity at 5th. I think Maddie struggled there greatly in the end. Infinity going to try to make a lunge on the McLaren. Can he make it work? No, he cannot. Lesty gonna pull a little bit gap here. Further back, we got Kermit in this little bit of this train as well. Infinity getting a little antsy-gansy. We do see in the back, I think the Williams and Jay Leakey passing Exelic. Or I guess the other way around. As they do touch there, Exelic gonna mount the curb, gonna go a little bit and mow the grass. Luckily, I think no damage, and they'll get 10 for corner cutting. Just a bit of a kick in the teeth there. And that is always gonna put Exelic in a big bad hole they won't even be able to serve. Yellow flag sector 2, I think Exelic is struggling on the tires that are roasted. I think just at insult to injury, probably should just remove it, but they won't. But sadly, that is the kick of the teeth, as they would say. But here comes Reds first. Kai 2nd, Lesty 3rd, Smitty 4th. Could be under pressure here. He's catching Lesty there all the way around. Infinity 5th. Kermit 6th, Kyle VGP 7th, Scanny 8th, Maddie 9th, Collins rounds out your top 10 with Jay Leakey falling off a little bit. Fear by Gaming lost it on lap 1, and Exelic way off there. I think it may be curtains for her race here today. Smitty on the back of Lesty here. DRS will not be active for 2 more laps here, but they can stay in touch. They can eat Kai's coattails, but Kai's is pulling away from Lesty though, so Lesty's going to have to get on the giddy up the go in order to stay close and keep that DRS train going, but he is driving away at a little bit faster of a pace than Lesty can keep up. Infinity back here in 5th. Good strong race here today. Don't usually see Infinity this far up, but had a good qualifying. And don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to knock on wood. But hopefully they can make this a strong performance here today. Exelic in the pit lanes here. I think they just, if I'm not mistaken, didn't just pop up saying they sped in the pit lane as well? No, they didn't. It was actually Fear by Game, and they got a warning. Sorry, my mistake. I saw it flash up. I saw Excelg in the pits, and I thought maybe the front wing are struggling with the tire wear. It could be something that may not be as good. But Leslie just out of DRS range now, 1.034. With DRS activating next time by, Smitty could make a chance to make a pass happen here. We'll see if he can even get a pass here done now. He's going to get a good toe down. Not using any ERS. Kais goes fast lap of the race. He's 5 tenths down. Last Smitty going to go around the outside. Not going to have any room to really make it work, though. DRS is enabled. If he was a little bit more aggressive in the brakes, he could have maybe tried it, but too little too late. Scandy going to clear 7th on Kyle VGB. They're going to still be side by side here. Fuel light on for Scandy. Going to probably have to save some down the race. They are still argy-bargy, but third up the road. Smitty has passed Lesty, and Kyle VGB has passed back Scanny. So, pass for third, Smitty to Lesty. Pass for 7th, Kyle VGB over Scanny. So 1-2 pass. We'll see if Scandy tries to fight it up again. Oh, he's going to get a little pushy there, and he's going to force his way through. He saw the open door. He's like, yoink, that is mine. And Scandy's going to be back up to P7, going to try to get back up to Kermit for 6. Lesty still on the back of Smitty. They have lost 2 seconds to Kai's F1. So a bit of a breakaway for the top 2. As you do see an Aston Martin, that first Aston Martin indicator that's crossing the DRS point, just activated the DRS point, is not Reds. That is Exelic. So no Team Morris ghosting is on. They'll come in the pit lane, so no real harm, no foul. But the question is, can Lesty get a good toe? But I think Kermit's going to make a move on Infinite here. So we'll see up the road if they can make it successfully happen. They're still side by side. Infinite going to get a good toe. Exelic has retired from the session. Here comes Infinite. Going to have the inside for this corner. Kermit going to be more aggressive on the brakes. They're still side by side. And they're still side-by-side, a little bit of a push there. Infinity still holding their nerve. It's great racing here between the two white cars, as they would say. But I think the Haas driver is finally going to get the advantage. But Infinity not going away. Can he outbrake the Haas driver into the corner? He can, I guess he will. Bad angle there, but he will successfully make the pass. So Infinity, actually I wouldn't say makes the pass, keeps his position and keeps 5th position away from Kermit. Kermit tried to make the aggressive there, but sadly did not work out, and Infinite will stay P5. Yellow flag, Sector 1, Sector 2, that is just, it's just, for some reason this game, shooting Exelic's car back out on the circuit, so you don't have to worry about that. That is not our leader spun out there. So, anyway, Kermit, 6th position right now, lost a little bit of touch with Infinity after that battle. He used a lot of his stuff there to try to make that pass work, and came up broke. But Infinity goes a little bit too wide there. That could give Kermit a little bit of a po here, as Lesty has lost touch back on Smitty here. As yellow flag, Sector 2, Sector 3, I think that is Fear by Gaming. He's retired from the session, and that's a yellow flag in an odd spot of the track. We'll see if the game decides to throw something for that. As we'll cut back to the battle here, Infinity has caught the back of Lesty. Lesty really struggling on those softs. I think if the game was going to throw something, it would have thrown something about a few seconds ago. I'll keep an eye on my watch just to be safe. And that is going to be a nothing. Yep, there it goes. That is nothing. So no safety cars, no nothing here on lap 5. Again, top 3 close. Again, don't worry, we're not ignoring the battle for the leaders. We just need to hold that thought, because Infinity going to try to make a move on Lesty, similar to what Scanny did on Kyle VGB. Can Infinity hold it? He can. Infinity up to 4th. Lesty down to 5th. Really struggling. He does, I think, clip the back of Infinity there. Going to slow him down. Kermit on the back of that train as well. So we'll see if Kermit can maybe pick up the pieces. Kyle VGP is also battling Maddie here at 8th. Maddie, currently 2nd in the standings, needs to try to minimize the damage. He'll get enough for the constructors if he holds where he is. And could clinch the constructors here tonight. But he needs to kind of push his way up, because he'll lose so many points to Kai's F1. It won't eliminate him, but he's going to need a doggone miracle in order to dig himself out of that hole with 2 rounds to go, if everything holds how it does. But back to the battle here for 1st and 2nd. Again, Kai's getting close, but I think he's kind of toying with his food, as they would say. Smitty in 3rd, Infinity in 4th. Actually, I'm going to see if Kai's makes a po. He's kind of close enough. We'll see what he can do. Now, he wasn't close enough, but definitely on at least going to the S's he was close, but just going to kind of bide his time. Lesty in the back here. Can he make a move on Infinity? No shot. Well, oh, he thought about it. I think he didn't think Infinity was going to break that hard. He's going to have to go way too evasive there. I don't think he's got damage. Luckily, if he does, it's going to be very minuscule. We'll see. Considering how hard he hit the back of him, I think he should have more damage than he does, but I didn't see anything fly off there. I'm going to see if we can get an angle of it, but the wing looks fine. At the very least, it's probably minor. No end plate missing, so maybe avoided doggone catastrophe there. But he's going to end up losing 2 spots, though, so at least he's still in this race. Let's put it like that. That could have been even worse in another time, another scene. So kicking himself for running to the back of him, but again, always could be worse. Keeping a gap in that battle for the lead there. Not enough to really make anything happen. 5 attempts to 4 attempts. 4 attempts to 3 attempts. It's going to cut there just in case. Yeah, nothing. But we do see Infinite. Could be under pressure here from Kermit. Can Kermit go past it? Actually, Leslie is pitting. So we'll see if it is enough damage as Infinite is going to be side by side. Well, I'll cut to the screen in a second here as we'll see if that pass happens. It does successfully. Infinite re-holds off Kermit. Back to Leslie just see if it's a wing change or not. We'll see. It is not going to be a wing change, so it's just a regular stop for a set of tires, as Kermit, though, is going to be side by side. I think that was going to happen, but I want to make the cut happen quick. Can Kermit make the pass successfully happen this time? Scandy also there as well. It's a 3-way fight for that position. They're 3 wide going to that corner. That is not going to work. One is going to have to give, and it looks like Kermit going to give a little bit of push to Scandy, and there goes Infinite. No contact, just loses it on their own. You knew going 3 wide in that corner was not going to work, and Infinity ends up being the loser, even though they didn't really do anything. And that has just been kind of the luck of the driver in question. Down the P9, having a good run, and just a kick-in-the-teeth moment. But luckily, again, no damage. But they're going to have to dig themselves out of a big hole and try to redig. But again, Leslie going for the undercut here. We'll see if he can make something work. Back up to the battle here at the front 2. Again, Kai's not close enough to make something happen here. Thinks about it, but just keeping Reds honest. We know these two have a rivalry from previous leagues, so they always bring up the best in each other, and who will best the other. Smitty in third. Kind of been under no pressure after he was able to pull away from Leslie on the opening laps. He's been under no pressure. I was like, actually, we'll cut back here. I think Kai's going for a pass for the lead of this race. He'll have the inside, but just not going to be enough. He feinted. It looked close, but I think he's thought better of it. Doesn't want to end up getting his nose chopped off and up the wrong way around. But I think Scandy is going to be fighting side by side with Kermit. Get a bad cut there. They touch, but both point at least the right direction. But I think Scandy wants to be the aggressor here and wants to be a good, loyal teammate to maybe Kai's F1 and try to at least save the constructors this season at the very least. Or maybe he's all in for himself. But again, that's a strong performance, but may also want to be a good, loyal foot soldier as well. Can be both things. So anyway, Kai's, again, looks like he's good on the straights, but struggles in the corners. That seems like Red's strongest section in the corners. He gains a lot of time. Kai seems to lose, and then on the long straights, Kai's gets it back. So we'll see again if Kai's can make something happen here. Actually, speaking of Kai's, he's coming in for the undercut here. So I think it's time for pit stops. As Kai's is coming in, I think Reds will follow him the next time by. We'll see if anyone else is at the projected stop window. It is for Kermit. Scanny staying out. Obviously, Scanny has to stay out. Doesn't want to double stack. The time has cut down, though, so he could have maybe made it work. But I think it's not his time yet. So the only 2 drivers coming in are Kai's and Kermit. So we'll see if they can make the undercut work. Now, Leslie obviously lost a lot of time there. We'll see he's not going to really make the jump. But we'll see if he can maybe catch Kermit using the power of the undercut. We'll see as I think Kermit is leaving now as we speak. He's going through the out road here. I think he'll hold station. It's going to be kind of close here. Actually, I think it'll be close. Leslie's got the spot. Will Kermit get the good toe off the long run? Oh, wrong button there. Yep, no, Leslie will get the spot by well over 8/10. So it just shows the power of the undercut because he was behind both of them when he pitted. And now he's a second ahead. So at this rate, Kai's will come out with the lead. And maybe we'll just try to hold his fear by getting has left the session. So we're going to take a breather here. Use this as a little bit of a neutralizer here. Infinity in 7th. So top 7 all still have to pit, including Jay Leakey as well. So 7th and Jay Leakey. Top 7 and Jay Leakey all have to pit again. So Reds staying on another lap here. Maybe wants to go longer than 2 and open up some more strategies. Smitty is not coming in as well. So looks like the undercut was the option for the other 2, but looks like they want to try a different strategy here. Oh, I forgot to check the tires. Kai's went on a set of mediums, and Leslie went on a set of mediums, and Kermit went on a set of mediums. They all went mediums, no hards, so most likely will have to pit again. So they are going 2-stop here, but that does raise the question. Maybe Reds is trying the 1-stop. If you go with 3 more laps, maybe 4, the 1-stop could be a viable option. Anyway, Finney on the back of Collins. Not enough to really make a pass, but is keeping Collins honest. Leslie now gets 3. He'll be the second driver to get a warning here today. Well, I guess 4th, because Exalic and Gaming both got corner cutting penalties, but now are both out of the race. So they're mute points. So 4th driver, 2nd one in the active field. As again, oh, he runs in the back of Collins there. I think Collins is kind of limping around here. I don't think he's got damage, but just maybe a little bit slower than Infinite. And I feel like if Leslie was watching the stream right now, he may be saying a little bit of karma for what happened to him. But I will not put words in the British man's mouth. That is what caused a couple wards. But anyway, Infinite going to get a good toe down the straight here. Will he make a pass on Collins? No one seems else to be coming in here at the very least, so staying out another run, most of the field is. Here comes Infinite. Doesn't get a good enough exit, though, so he's going to get, well, nah, no pass here yet, but could set himself up nicely for the next corner as Kai's F1 sets the fast lap of the race with a 109.851. As Collins gets a little squirrely there, it's going to open the door for Infinite. If Infinite didn't have to let off too much to make something happen. But down long straight, he's going to use DRS, he's going to ERS. Both are using all their ERS deployments here. Can Infinite hang it around the outside? Not going to be enough. Reds gets 10 for corner cutting. As he's lost it, Reds has lost it. He had a big gap there, and I think he made a slight mistake going off into a corner there, and he had to cut the corner to try to keep the car straight, and that is 10 seconds. So I think right now, Kai's F1 is like praising the gods, but that penalty maybe gets removed, because it was accidental, and he did just lose over 7 seconds to Smitty. So I do think maybe the stewards, if it goes to the stewards room, could take some mercy on a young Marticle. But sadly, not going to be enough as Kai's now passes Infinite for 7th and sets his move on the 6th, as we do see Reds finally coming in. At the very least, wants to get off his tires. They're a little bit roasted, but he's going to lose so much time now because of that mistake. So Kai's F1 is definitely going to come out with the lead for sure. We'll see if he can get around Collins as well into this long straight. Yes, he will. So Kai's F1 will make it a 2-for-1. And, well, Collins going to answer back there. Oh, they touch wheel to wheel, and there goes Collins. You could argue maybe a little over-aggressive for Collins, but did Kai's leave enough space? It was a very aggressive lunge, though, so I would argue Collins a little more at fault. But, again, that is why I'm not a steward. So Kai's F1 in 5th, Infinite in 6th. Kai's F1 well clear of Reds. That mistake cost him over 6 seconds. I don't know the gap offhand, but it probably will have been 1 or 2. But now, Reds has to dig himself out of a hole. He cannot get that penalty removed. But at the very least, maybe he can hope the stewards remove it, but he's got to just play for all he can. Just hope that penalty takes the stewards, hope it gets removed, and he's got to race like he has to race, keep it clean. But that's going to open the door at the very least for Smitty and a few other drivers to maybe lunge and get on that top step, last step of the podium. So anyway, as we do kind of watch on board, we do got a battle in the back here. We got Kermit and Leaky battling here, as Leaky is going to get passed by Kermit. Kermit going to hold the inside there. We also see both Williams teammates fighting as well. As Jay Leaky has not pitted yet. He's on 11 old tires as Kyle VGB has pitted. The other Williams and Lesty going to pit around, Lesty, as I was watching that battle up there, Kermit did pass Lesty, so Kermit in 9th, Lesty in 10th. So the undercut did work for Lesty, but Lesty ended up losing out that spot, as now Kyle going to drop down to P11 at the moment. We do got Maddie on the back of Scanny here, as got to be a little more quicker with my reactions here, as Maddie going to be close, but not going to have enough to make a lunge. We'll see if he makes something happen here. No, he will not, but back to the battle for 9th. Will Lesty make a move on Kermit? They're both kind of dead zoning. Collins just up the road as well. Could be a pick, as now Collins gets 3 for multiple warnings. Collins could be a pick that helps Kermit or Lesty make that pass. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Or will keep the spot. Again, top 3 all stop to pit, and when they do pit, Kai's will be first at the very least. Reds will probably still come out second, but with that time penalty, you'll have to calculate that in, so we'll have to wait and see how it shakes out. But right now, top 3 should still be, at the moment, on track. Kai's, Reds, Smitty. As now Smitty is in. Scanny as well. We'll cut back to the battle, see if Maddie makes a pass. Obviously, Maddie's going to stay out again because he doesn't want to double stack. But here comes Maddie down the inside. Can he successfully outbrake the Mercedes? He can. They'll be side by side through the center S's. Scanny now going to have the inside, but it's going to favor Scanny as well. And Maddie is going to make the pass successfully. So Maddie up to P1. Scanny down to 2nd. Can Scanny make a re-lunge on Maddie? Going to hang it around the outside. Scanny going to have the... Maddie going to have the inside of this corner. They're going to be wheel to wheel. They're going to touch a little bit. They're still going to be side by side, but I think Scanny's going to have the better drive off here. He's got the inside for the corner. You see Collins made a mistake. They're side by side again. Wheel to wheel, banging, not touching. They're very fighting. Scanny gets a little squirrely, and I think Maddie is going to get the spot successfully. And now the question mark is, team orders over the radio. Will Kai just tell Scanny, get the F out of the way. You're holding me up. Because right now this fighting is allowing Reds to kind of reel back in this battle. At the very least, but even Reds has 10. Kai's had not too much breathing room, but with that time penalty is worth noting. So Matty 1, Scanny 2nd, Kai's 3rd. Kai's going to try to make a double pass here if he can make it work. Matty going to have no DRS. I think Matty's going to come into the pit lane this time by. He is along. Well, Scanny's staying out one more go-around. So it's going to be a 1-2 Mercedes, but I think Kai's is going to make this pass successfully work here. We'll see if they can go side by side. Out breaks Scanny, and Kai's F1 into the lead. A little bit of maybe team and showmanship there, knowing there are alternative strategies. Scanny just gives Kai's the good old 1-2. Get on by. And we'll see what happens. Red's P3, Kermit now to P4, makes a pass on Lesty. Lesty going to answer back here, still side by side. Lesty going to have the inside, and Lesty will take 4th position away from Kermit. So Lesty in 4th, Kermit in 5th. Smitty in 6th, and with Matty pitting in 7th. So big gap there. Now Kermit answers back there. I'm adjusting my headset. Kermit and Lesty touch. They've been fighting for a lot of laps here. Kermit's got the tire advantage, but Lesty has the heart to keep fighting, as they would say. Kyle VGB on the back of Matty here. So we do got another fight here. Oh, Kyle VGB gets a little squirrely. They touch side pods there, and Kyle VGB is going to be facing the wrong way. We'll get it refired. As now Reds passes Scanny. A lot to cover here as Reds makes a pass on Scanny. So Reds up to 2nd, 3 back on Kai's, but does have 3-lap fresher tires. But because of that mistake, kind of a new point is now Collins tires, meaning that as long as you finish, you will get at least 1 point. So Kai's 1st, Red 2nd, Scanny 3rd. Scanny now pitting. Will hand over the 3rd position to Kermit, showing the power of the undercut. But it is something else worth noting, is that Smitty and Matty both trying to get to the end here on a set of hards. So their strategy is one-stopping it, while I assume Lesty, Kermit still fighting here. Lesty and Kermit are probably going to have to pit again at the very least. We know Reds and Kai's are kind of conservative on their rubber, so we'll have to wait and see if they do it. But these top two, especially how they're fighting, this may be a pit stop waiting to happen. So we do see LFX Sector 1 that is Scanny going a little bit slow in the center S's, and it will be Lesty making the pass on Kermit for 3rd position. So Lesty in 3rd, Kermit back down to 4th. This fighting is allowing Smitty to kind of reel him back in. He was P3 when before pit stop started, and knowing that Lesty and Kermit will pit again, it will re-inherit Smitty to 3rd, but all still to play for. We do got Infinite on the back of Matty as well. Infinite trying to dig himself out of the hole that sadly caused earlier in this race, trying to rebound for a nice recovery at the very least. Currently P7 sets his sights on 6 for Matty. As they run, like I said, the gap as they run, I'll hold that thought for a second here, as Lesty and Kermit. Will Kermit answer back? He's got 30% ERS, while Lesty only has 22, so Kermit should be a little bit faster on the straights. There goes Kermit around the outside, and he will successfully make the pass. So put Kermit up to 3rd again, Lesty down to 4th. Will Lesty have an answer back? He's had an answer back the last couple runs here, but we'll see if that may have been that. Going to use all the DRS he's got. He will have DRS this time by, and he's going to get a good exit here. So he's going to make a pass on the Haas driver. Here goes the Williams driver on the inside again. Still side by side. As they give me kind of a poor angle there. There we go. As Kermit and they're going to be side by side, and Lesty takes the spot again. So Lesty retakes 3rd from Kermit, but Kermit thinks about something, and goes a little bit too deep there. Thought about taking the inside line, and then bailed at the last second. So Kermit still in 4th, Lesty still in 3rd. Now to go back to my point, though, Reds is reeling in Kai's, but with that time penalty, again, he has to hope the stewards remove it, but right now, that's a mute point. As now Infinite passes Matty, and Scanny, Matty has looped it. So Matty's 2nd in the championship right now, having a race to forget at the worst time, as he'll end up losing 2 spots, both Infinite and Scanny. So yeah, Matty down to 8th, and kind of loops it there, but again, good to go to the end at the very least, but we know Scanny could make the end as well if he can make those mediums last 20 laps. That's a bit of a stretch. But I know you can make it, if you make it 12 on a U set of softs, it's safe to assume the mediums could make it 20, so that probably is for position. But all we know for a fact, though, is Lesty and Kermit are pitting again for certain. Reds, maybe if he's lucky, but doubtful. He'll probably have to pit again. Kai's F1 will have to pit again as well. But as they run, McLaren would clinch the Constructors tonight, and Kai's F1 would grow his gap on both Mercedes boys. And you can add, I have to recheck the points again. I listed them off, but my brain forgot the numbers. But I'll pull them up a little bit later as we do got a battle. We do see Lesty a little bit lagging. That was his kryptonite at Portugal, but looks like it's getting just a little lag. Just a little lag. Not enough to really interfere with anything. Reds has got the gap down to 2 seconds between Kai's and himself. Can Kermit answer back here and make a lunge? Here he goes, going to get a good toe down the straight there. Lesty going to try to cover the inside, but it's not going to be enough as the Haas driver of Kermit retakes third, Lesty down the fourth. Smitty in fifth, Infinity in sixth, Scandy in seventh. So again, Lesty, again, going to get a good roll-off corner there. Smitty in fifth. Again, looks like that battle maybe calming down for the time being as Kermit may have finally got the, as I would say, Lesty tires may have hit a little bit of a cliff there, and they may be starting to fall off. It's only lap 11, but he's been on those tires 11 laps, a constant battle. Those tires probably aren't the freshest, as they would say. So here comes Lesty as well, getting good toe to Kermit. Reds got down to 1.4, so worth noting as well. I'm just trying to check something on my phone about standings, but it's what happens when you got two-man booth. Sometimes you have someone else with you. You can sometimes have them delegate things. But right now, this one man have to man the cameras, keep the voice, and check the standings. Lesty, can he get an answer back at Kermit? We know he gets a good exit here, but it looks like it's a little bit too wide, and it's not going to be enough. Lesty will hold fourth. Kermit going to fall down. Not fall down third. He's still in third, as words are hard. But Kermit third, Lesty fourth. With 16 to go here. We got all the play for it. Again, Reds got the sense. I'm going to cut back to the battle for the lead because Reds has reeled them in. And again, he could make this pass happen. He's got 3 left fresh tire and mediums, but the problem is that even if he does catch him, the problem is he's got that 10-second time penalty he got for that slight mistake. So even if he makes the pass successfully, he's then got to worry about that penalty and hope something happens. As now J-League gets 3 from all the warnings, and then gets Reds a little bit too squirrely, and that's going to be a mistake. He got a little bit too wide. He'll luckily keep it off the walls. Actually, he does clip it at the end there. We'll see if he's got any damage, but that is a mistake, and that is a costly one. It's not really going to affect him any higher because Kermit's 15 back, but he made all that time up, reel them in, and then has to just lose it all just like that. Just a sad case of sadness. As now Kermit gets 3 from multiple warnings, as I was trying to cover and check something, Lesty retakes over Kermit. So Lesty back to third, Kermit the fourth, Smitty in the distance there on his hards in fifth. As it shakes right now, Reds would still be P2, but there's a chance Smitty could take it back. Again, obviously knowing how penalties are now removed. But again, Reds make that something that's been the kind of the kryptonite of Reds this season is that when he has a good run, it just seems like he makes one mistake and he ends up taking all that goodwill and throwing it away. And no different here. He just has problems now. Reds, I think, did end up breaking his wing. So we'll cut back to in a second. I think we got Kermit going to make a move on Lesty again. Kermit and Lesty still battling and banging and beating as Kermit going to hang around the outside this time, not going to take the inside, and he'll successfully make the pass. So Kermit in a second, Lesty third, quick cut the Reds. As I don't see a wing change there. It was kind of a quick stop, so we'll see what happens. Red's going on a set of mediums. He'll be good to go to the end, but going to be behind at least Matt Smitty, who we also know is good to go to the end. Lesty again, going to thinks about the inside, not going to take it. Kermit going to be in second still, Lesty in third. But here comes Lesty. Can he take the inside off the Haas driver here? We've seen it happen before, but again, maybe thinks better of it. Doesn't want to end up maybe wrecking the car here. Gone this far, you don't want to end up throwing it away for a bag of Skittles. I don't know where that analogy went, but it was an analogy. If Kai's tires don't make it, the gap is, just to quickly check something here, as he actually is pitting right now. I think he feels he's got no pressure, no reason not to risk staying the tires out here. So we know for a fact he will pit and probably go in a set of mediums that will inherit the lead over the Kermit, Lesty in second. Smitty most likely will take third. As he puts out another set of mediums, the problem is Smitty's good to go to the end, but if he can't get past, actually, I don't think he'll even get ahead of him. I think Kai's has got that spot, at least first two, at the very least.
We'll see if Kermit can overtake him. I think he'll successfully make it happen. Keep an eye on the right of your screen, left of your screen there. Yep, they'll both get on by. Leslie will get on by as well. It'll be actually kind of close. Actually, I think he'll just get ahead of him. He'll have DRS. Actually, he doesn't even have DRS. He's just out of DRS range, and that's going to allow Kai's F1 to sneak in for second here. That he will. So Kai's going to take second, Leslie in third, and Smitty run the long strategy here. Sadly, will not be able to jump Kai's, so unless something happens to Kai's here, that spot, is chance of winning this race is probably out of range. But right now, Kermit is Leslie and Smitty's best friend right now. If he can back Kai's down enough, it could allow a little bit of a fight and could allow Smitty back into this along with the rest of the field, but he's going to need some help. Again, Kermit, how aggressive will that pass be? How aggressive will Kai's make that lunge? He's got a lot of gap to his nearest rival, so he doesn't have to worry about getting lunged, but at the same time, you don't want to sit in this 30 yard too long. So we'll see again if Kai's going to make the move around the outside, inside. Almost hits the back of Kermit there. Trying to wait for the last second. He'll successfully make the pass. Kai's the first, Kermit the second. But can Kermit answer back? He's got some ERS here. Red sits the fast lap of this race. He's currently in P5. 1.6 back behind Smitty. Leslie gets 3 from Alta Warden, so it's a little bit too wide in the sun asses. Kermit can have DRS, but I doubt it's going to be enough to even get close enough to Kai's. It will not. So Kai's will keep first. Kermit second. Leslie still third. Smitty fourth. We do know top two. We'll have to pit again. So after pit stop, at the very least, Kai's will be first. Smitty will be second. Reds will be third. But Reds may pass Smitty, but then remember, Reds does have time penalties. Will have to clear 10 seconds to Smitty in order to keep second. Infinity's on the back of that train as well, and if you can make those mediums last another 12 laps, I doubt it's a stretch. We know Scanny probably can make it to the end. Maddie, Kyle, and Jaylee are also good as well. So, a little bit of a mixed bag here. As we know for a fact, Kai's, Smitty, Reds, Scanny, Maddie, Kyle, and Leaky, all good. As we do see Reds make a pass on Smitty for fourth, so Reds now just try to get 10 clear of him in order to ensure second step on the podium. Actually, will Smitty answer back here? He gets a good toe here. Thinks about taking the inside here. No, he will not be close to make anything happen. A little bit of an optical illusion, as Reds will not make it happen. Leslie on the back of Kermit again. These two just keep fighting. If this was a wrestling shake, you'd be saying fight forever, as here comes Leslie up the inside. He'll actually take the corner here. Goes a little bit deep on the entry there. They touch side pods, wheel the side pod. It looks like Leslie going to have the outside, going to try to hang it, but not going to be enough. Maybe a little bit of a desperation move, knowing that his tires are falling off. Has to do anything to get ahead. Not going to wreck him, but just try to maybe body him a little bit to keep close, because he also has, remember, a 3-second time difference there. So even if Leslie gets ahead, he'll have to clear him by 3 in order to ensure the spot stays. And breathe. But we'll see if Leslie can answer back here as we do check tires one more time. He is on 17-lap old medium, so can all to play 4. Meanwhile, Kaz has gained over 3.7 clear Kermit, so nothing really to report there. Infinity, though, on the back of Smitty as well. Smitty playing long game. Infinity could maybe make it to the end on those mediums, but they're definitely not going to be fresh and nice by the end of it. We'll see if Infinity can make the passes now. Kermit has pitted. Leslie stays out, and Kermit speeds in the pit lane, so that will put his 3 to 7, and now they're back on equal footing, as now Leslie has the 1 second advantage when they both pit. Now Infinity makes the pass on Smitty. Infinity the 4th, Smitty the 5th. Infinity is a question mark to the end. Will he make it? Let's shrug. As Kermit will come out in 6th, probably 7th. Scanny's also good to go to the end if he can come out ahead of him. And remember, this is probably the range when Leslie pits as well, he'll be in as well. Probably even get around Manny as well, get around him as well. So Kermit going to be sandwiched between, well, I wouldn't say two, but yeah, no. Kermit's going to be sandwiched between a Mercedes and a McLaren, with the Haas as the meat. So we know Leslie is mostly going to come in this time by to try to avoid the undercut. It is getting dark, but according to our weatherologist, it's only just the clouds. It's not going to actually affect anything. As Reds going to get a good toe off Leslie here. Going to get DRS. Going to get a good toe down the straight past the Emirates sign. Will that Leslie coming in this time by? It looks like Reds one trying to get the toe, but not going to be enough. Yellow flag sector 2. I think that is Scanny, and Leslie speeds in the pit lane. So the advantage he got just got lost, because he decided to make a slight mistake, as now Scanny going to go a little bit too wide. I think he may have a little bit of damage, as Kyle's going to pass him as well. So Kermit up to 7th. Maybe him and Kermit end up colliding a little bit because he was ahead of him. but I don't know. Didn't get a look at it. Looks like Kyle VGP was going to take inside there, fighting side by side here. They are dueling like it's a Mario Kart, and it looks like Scanny going to get the spot, but Kyle thinks about taking the inside, not going to be enough. Scanny going to hold 8th, Kyle down to 9th. But Kyle could get DRS here, going to just be on the back of him. Lesty comes out P5. Well clear, well not well clear, but good distance ahead of Maddie and a second clear of Kermit. So it makes me wonder, I think they may have touched Scanny and Kermit, because that probably shouldn't have happened. So, Kermit, 7th position, Scanny 8th, Kyle 9th, Maddie 6th, Lesty 5th, but remember time penalties, Maddie would take 5th at the very least, Smitty 4th, Infinity 3rd, Reds 2nd, and Kai's F1 1st. If Reds can somehow reel Kai's down again, it'd be interesting to see, but they're both on equal tire footing. Actually, I think Kai's actually has a slight advantage. He does by 1 lap, so the advantage is now in Kai's court, not Reds. Now Kermit makes a move on Maddie, and he'll successfully make the pass to 6. So Kermit now going to set his sights on his rival this race, Lesty, who's currently in P5. With penalties in tow, it's an advantage of 3 seconds. Kermit, so Kermit, all he has to do is just stay within 3 seconds of Lesty, and he'll make it happen. It's now Kyle and Scanny still fighting. Kyle will get the spot on Scanny, so Kyle to 8th, Scanny to 9th. But Scanny not going to go quietly to 9th. Going to get a good toe off the Ferrari. Mercedes-Ferrari fighting like it's 2018. And Scanny going to make the move around Kyle. And Scanny back up to 8th. And Kyle down to 9th. So they're still fighting. And it looks like Kyle could maybe make a lunge here. Remind shades of early in the race when Scanny made a lunge on Kyle. But it's not going to be the same. The birthday boy will stay behind Scanny in 8th. Again, get a little bit of down toe there. Again, ERS doesn't favor, actually favors neither. Now Maddie's actually left the session. He's not crashed. He's just lagged out. So Maddie, definitely bad for a driver second in the point standings right now. He's got a 4-second advantage on Scanny. Hopefully he's got another invite here. I don't know if I can throw one out. Maybe if he asks, I could throw him one out. Lesty goes fast lap the race on a set of softs. Kyle's well going to take the inside off Scanny, and Kyle going to take the spot back. It's Kyle 8th, Scanny 9th. And again, they're going to come up to the grief-stricken car of Maddie, who's going to be in a scramble to get back in here. This race has kind of flown by here. When next time by, we'll have 7 to go, so all still to play for here is now Kyle holds spot. So now we'll take it. Actually, Reds has slowly reeled in Kai's. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but it is worth noting. Go back to tires again here real fast. We'll check tires and telemetry real fast. We'll do kind of a field warp here. As actually Kyle and Matt Scanny both passed Maddie now. We'll do a quick check of the field. Kai's currently in P1, 2.9 ahead of Reds, 32% ERS. Reds, only 14% ERS. He's been really pushing P2 on those mediums. Infinity at P3 right now. With time penalties, though, you got to take that into consideration. I think he has 9 seconds, so even if he does hold P3, he'll have to get 9 clear. He's, I think, already 9, almost 9 clear of Lesty, so P4 right now, he's net P4 with penalties, but a lot to play for. Remember, Reds also has 10 as well, so right now, it's still shaping up to be, actually, I think Reds will hold P2 at the rate he's going, so Kai's will still be P1, Reds P2, and then you got Infinite giving up 3rd to Smitty. Smitty going to take over 3rd. Infinite will fall to 4th. If Lasty can keep the giddy up on, he could maybe, well, it's a gap of 11 though. So even if he catches him, he'd be 6 behind. Yeah, no. So right now, doing some quick math in my head, as we just see Reds, I'll leave Reds on while I just math. Kai's first, Reds will keep 2nd, Smitty will jump to 3rd, Infinite will be 4th, Lesty will be 5th, Kermit will be 5th, Lesty will be 6th, Scanny will be 7th, well, would have been 7th out for that mistake, Kyle will stay 7th, Maddie may stay 8th if Scanny can't catch his car, and Maddie will fall 9th and maybe 10th if he does not get a giddy up on. And that is your field progression with 6 to go. So again, Reds won't get the spot. Even if he makes the pass, he has to hope the stewards show mercy on him with that 10-second time penalty. He made a mistake, similar to what happened to Excel, from what I gathered. He made a mistake, kind of got squirrely, cut the grass right as we go in this corner right here, and then came out the other side, and It ended up giving him 10 seconds, even though he lost 7. So the stewards could maybe throw him a bone here. But again, you never know, because unlike other corner cutting penalties where there was malicious, there wasn't no malicious 10. He ended up losing time instead of gaining it by well over 7. So again, stewards may show mercy if he takes it to the courts. Scanny now in the 10th. He is pitting. J-Leaky the 9th. So I don't know if Scanny will catch Maddie's AI car, but again, this race here today is definitely going to put Maddie in a hole that may be hard to dig himself out of. But at the very least, it will be a constructor's victory for McLaren as it all shakes up. So again, Reds is here. Boss Music engaged. Eurobeat also engaged. And we'll see if Reds can make a move on Kais with 5 to go. As well, he's within 6/10. Tire strategy favors Kais by 1 lap, but they're basically on equal footing. The only thing that worth note, though, is Reds burned up his tires a little bit more to try to get closer to Kais. Then Kais used his tires to keep a gap on Reds. Infinity is 10 high. If they do tangle and they both end up crashing, it could be worth noting right now, because Reds does have a time penalty, so Infinity can just stay within touch. Well, again, Infinity does have 9, so even if he does stay in touch, then Smitty would have to get within 10 seconds of Reds in order to get second, which easier said than done. But if they get the scrapping, anything is possible. Reds going to get a tow down the long straight here up the road. I believe that is scanning the Mercedes. Going to be kind of a tow for Kais. I don't know if he's in DRS range. No, he is not. He'll get no tow. But Reds will. Reds only has 6% ERS while Kais has 22. I think Lesty, as we'll cut that battle in a second, as we'll cut away, as I think Scanny is no longer here, as we do got the red X on his name. So I want to cut back, because now Reds gets 3 fault warning, so even if he gets that time penalty with 10, he is still now 3 behind. So even if he gets it, it's still going to be a kick in the teeth. That actually opens the door for Smitty if he can get 1 second, as J-Leaky has passed the stricken car of Maddie, but not going to be enough. So I'm going to, well, hold on, I want to make sure this battle's done before I cut back to something. They may see him lunge up in this corner here. Now he'll just tuck in behind. But back to my point, Lesty has caught the back of Smitty. Kermit, if he can get 3 clear of Kermit, that 5th is his. But he has to get another 3 tenths clear of Kermit in order to make that happen. But again, easier said than done. But if he can maybe get around Smitty quickly, he could maybe make it happen. There we go, Reds on the inside. Going to try to make a move on Kais. It's kind of a mute point with all the time penalties in consideration, but at least it's a pride on track. These two rivals from other leagues fighting it out, both knowing they're the fastest. Even if Kais doesn't get credit for the win, he can at least say, I beat you on track. And that's something he can at least hold over Kais. But Red's going to have a spot. Will Kais answer back? It looks like he will successfully, and Kais will take back over the lead. Red's back down the second. Red's put himself in the lead, end up losing a ton of time, dug himself back up to Kais, ended up shooting himself in the foot again, and then retook over the battle. So Reds has been playing catch-up for us this whole race. Will he make a move on Kais? Lesty has made a move on Smitty. Cut away for a second. Actually, I'm not going to cut away. We're going to cut back to Reds. Reds and less Kais. Reds going to have the inside of the corner. Going to push Kais a little bit wide. They're still side by side, and Reds will take the lead. Kais, will he answer back on the inside of the corner? No, he will not. Reds more aggressive on the brakes. Reds will hold spot. So Reds first, Kais second, Infinity 12 behind. Lesty has cleared Smitty, and is putting 8 seconds on him. But again, with time penalty consideration, as long as he can stay 9 in distance of Infinity, he will have third position. So again, Reds setting sail here. Again, Reds is a little twitchy there. It looks like Kais, maybe knowing that he doesn't have to fight Reds here, knowing he's got well over 13 clear, he doesn't have to risk it. Reds first, Kais second. We do got Lesty kind of closing on Infinity, but it's not going to be enough. Here comes Kais. Take the inside, thinks about it, but again, a little bit too far back. Doesn't want to end up taking Reds out, maybe taking himself out. Again, he'd gain a lot of points on Lesty. With where he finishes, he'd get 10... sorry, Lesty, sorry. Not Lesty, I saw Lesty. Smitty. He'd gain well over 10 points onto the gap, which I think is about 7 or 8 points. So it'll be an 80-point gap within 2 rounds. He could clinch it next week, so he doesn't want to throw it away and end up only getting 1 to no points. And allow Smitty to retake the lead, or, well, I would say retake the lead, take the lead for the first time this championship season. Kermit also on the back of Smitty, showing that those hards have kind of ran their course. We'll be coming to 1 to go here. Again, Reds, Kais close to Reds, but not enough to make anything happen. Kermit 2 attempts back. We'll cut to see if he can make a lunge here on the inside. No, he will not, but we'll keep an eye on that as we're entering the white flag lap. Reds, 7/10 clear Kai's, but with 13 seconds with time penalties, even if he got that 10 removed, it'd still be 3, and it would allow Kai's to win this race. So here comes Kai's, maybe waiting for the last lap, knowing he wants to be on the long straight, knowing that it's best to be in maybe the car in the second position in the first on that long straight. But here we go, starting the lap. You can see the ghost of Maddie up the road, yellow flag sector 3. That looks like it's Lesty. It is Lesty. Lesty, I think, has ran out of fuel. I think he has. I think he's underfueled the car so much. And there goes Kermit into the wall. Hard into the wall. As Kai's F1 has taken the lead. A lot to cover in the last lap. Kai's F1 and Reds has run out of the fuel as well. Reds and Lesty have both ran out of fuel. So Kai's F1 unopposed. Reds runs it dry along with Lesty. They're going to be limping around here at the end. Infinite also to play for. Could get the last time on the podium as Kermit ends up getting kind of crashed out there on that mistake. So here we go. Final couple corners, trying to just keep an eye on everything. If Infinity can hold on, he'll get second, I guess. Red's limping around here. Will it be enough? Will he get caught? But regardless, Kai's F1 will win this race. That's a gimme. Take that to the bank. He will win this race, but we're going to cut back to Infinity. Can he get enough tow down this race? He's actually stopping at the line. And now he's going to start. But Infinity sees the target up the road. He's 2. It's 2. It's 1. He's going to try to make the move on Reds. He'll successfully make it. And Infinity will take second position away. Will it hold, though? We'll see. Can Smitty make a lunge? Will it be enough? He's gotten close to Reds, and it's going to be P2 for Smitty. So Kai's F1 first, Smitty second, Infinity third, Reds fourth, the birthday boy in fifth. Lesty's still trying to limp it around. He may end up losing a spot to Jay Leakey if he doesn't get going. The fuel light has come on. A Grask mistake for both him and Reds, running the tank dry. Should have been saving. Lesty limping. Jay Leakey not going to get enough. Lesty gonna finish 6th. Lesty, Jay Leakey gonna come home in 7th, and that will be that. As I think Maddie's Ghost is not gonna get the spot, so Kermit is 8th. But maybe a question mark. But that was an interesting last 2 laps there. As you have Kai's F1, Kermit, you have Reds running the tank dry along with Lesty. Lesty ended up running the tank dry and then allowed when Kermit tried to make a move along with Smitty. Kermit ended up getting hooked, hitting the wall and DNFing. So, interesting top 3 you got here today. I think many people said Kai's would have been first, but I think the main kick in the teeth maybe moment is he was hoping Smitty didn't finish 1-2. He'll gain more points, but instead of getting 11, he'll end up only gaining 8. So, still gains points, but definitely, if he has a bad race next race, it could close the gap back up. But Infinity, the shock here today, P3. So tip my hat to the Alfa Romeo driver. He will get my driver of the day for sure because he dug himself out of a hole. He had things break right, but again, not having the greatest of seasons, gets a podium. Good for the Irishman, and that will be P3 for him. But we'll take a final look at your results. Kai's F1 first, Smitty second, Infinity third, Reds fourth, Kyle VGB 5th, Lasty 6th, Jay Leakey 7th, Kermit 8th, Maddie 9th, Scanny 10th, and Collins 11th, Gaming 12th, Excelic 13th, rounding out top 33. If top 3 do want to join me, they are more than welcome. Interviews will commence this week. I know it's been a couple weeks without them, but I have finally some free time at the end of this race. So you're more than welcome to join me if you want it. I think someone did join. Smitty has joined. We'll see if anyone else decides to join as well. And we'll see. But while we wait for that, we do got Infinity getting their first podium as well. People congratulating him. Smitty in as well. But anyway, as we do wait for that finishes, well, actually, we'll see if the other 2 do join, but I guess we'll start the interview process. So, Smitty, can you hear me?
I can, Pepsi. How are you?
Good. Well, I guess that was a very chaotic finish to the race, but I guess we'll start off with the beginning. So, qualifying. It looked like you were relatively good during qualifying there. You looked kind of rubbered in. So, did you feel good with this track here today? A good track combination, car combination?
Yeah, it's actually my favourite track. I don't know why, I just really enjoy it. So, it's probably the first time I've been ahead of Matt in time trial. Matty, my teammate, so I felt good going in. Thought I might get my first pole position, but obviously Keys and Reds are very quick.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hard... it looked good at one point, but yeah, a lot of tough drivers there, but still a strong qualifying performance.
Yeah, I think so. I think, was it third I started? I think.
It's been a long race.
Can't
be honest,
remember.
You're the stat keeper. I should probably keep a note of that to give you a little less work. But yeah, can't remember off the top of my head as well. But I guess we'll start off with the race. At the start of the race here, you looked kind of rubbered in, and you looked okay. You actually gained some gap on Lesty, and you really were pulling. But I guess my question is, when it came to the pit stop window, you went on a set of hards, and you looked like a sitting duck. I know you wanted to make a one-stop work, but in retrospect, do you think the two-stop was the better choice?
Yeah, I kind of regretted that. I got a good start. I almost got level with Keys and Reds, I think, off the start, but then obviously they were in the way, and that let Lesty get up the inside, and they managed to chase him down, and he pitted quite early. And in hindsight, I think two-stop was probably better because the hards felt absolutely horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I did feel a bit like a sitting duck, yeah.
Yeah, it did look like you were struggling at the end there to try to keep the car on the track, and things broke your way. And I guess we'll talk about that final lap now. Pure pandemonium around you. It looked like you were kind of settling and possibly still going to get second while the time penalties around. And then it seemed like everyone was running out of fuel. So from your perspective, what happened on that last lap from your eyes?
So saw a yellow sector up ahead, and I think it was Lesty ran out of fuel. And I think Kermit was coming up behind me, and I kind of just stayed out on the right because he was on the softs, he was quicker than me. It wasn't my fight. And then all of a sudden he was spun out behind me in DNF, so I don't know if he got caught up with Lesty or if it unghosted, or I don't know what happened there. And then all of a sudden Reds was coming into view as well. I don't know if he ran out of fuel as well or had an incident. And I was just trying to cling to Infinity because they had 9 seconds, but they were pulling away on the mediums, and it was just all a bit chaotic.
Mm-hmm. Very chaotic indeed. Had to cover the battle for the lead, and then the fuel run out and all that, and it was basically like just chasing. It's like someone was going like a turtle chasing a hare at the end of the Turtle and Hare book, and just trying to catch up near the end. But I guess last thing we'll bring up here today is, with this strong performance here today, you have clinched the Constructors for McLaren. Sadly, your teammate didn't really finish the race for you, but you do end up still clinching it, so confetti, I guess you would say. Congratulations to McLaren. They at least win something, but you're still in the fight for the drivers, as your main rival's also in this party right now. But the gap will grow. But I guess with these final 2 rounds, how do you feel with those last 2 tracks?
I feel good on them, but I just think Keys has got the pace. So if he fancied like not showing up for 2 of the races, and I could win, that'd be great. But
if you buy him some drinks, he may take a fall for you.
Yeah, he's again another really classy performance today, very quick, and yeah, I think he'll probably sew that up next week. But
anything else you want to say?
Really good season.
Yeah, I was gonna say, anything about your Constructor win here today? Anything you want to say as well for that? You got the
well,
time?
shout out to Matty as well, because I don't think either of us thought we'd be in that position competing for it. I know there was one of our right wheel kind of had to drop out for work reasons, so that kind of made it a bit easier. And obviously Keys joined later on in the season, so if he was here the whole time, maybe Mercedes would have been up there as well. But yeah, we've just been quite consistent, the pair of us, and we've got quite even points on the board, so yeah, it feels good.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for joining me here today, Smitty. We may see you next week, we may not, but hopefully you can have a final good 2 rounds here and maybe bring this championship fight to, I would say Abu Dhabi, but China's the last round, so bring the fight to China and make it a good fight to the end. But thank you for joining me. And now we'll move on to Kai's F1. So, Kais, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello.
All right, hello. Seems like we're here. It seems like you have a good finish every week, but I guess we'll go back to qualifying here. You were best. It seemed like during your first run on the mediums, you did kind of struggle a little bit, and then you went in the softs, and you seemed pretty strong. So I guess my question is, did you feel more comfortable on the softs during qualifying, or maybe you were just trying to get leveled up with the setup?
So I haven't touched the game in quite a while because most leagues have kind of had a week break. So it's been a while since I touched the game. So on the mediums, I noticed my pace wasn't that strong. So yeah, I decided to just go on softs. I wanted to start the mediums because mediums are the better tyre, as I found out later on in the race. But yeah, I did a bit go on to the softs. My pace wasn't the greatest.
Second question, I guess, would be, so it seems like a couple weeks ago, I think we had this. You and Reds, I know you were rivals from a previous league, and you were fighting here to the end. He looked like your strongest competitor, and every time he seemed like he had a slight advantage, he made a slight mistake and shot himself in the foot. But I guess you say, were you having kind of a good enjoyed a fun battle with him, and you think he kind of kept up with you in your forms, they would say?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed the fight. It's annoying that, well, first of all, he spun, because I thought, okay, this could get really tasty. And then I thought, okay, he's got this win. I'm assuming that 10 seconds
That 10 seconds came when you pitted and he was coming on his stop. He lost it. He cut the corner and the back end and cut across it, and they gave him 10 for it. So there's a chance it could have got removed, but then even with the 3 he got, it was most likely going to be your win regardless.
Yeah, but it would have been fair to him if he won it on track, but unfortunately he ran out of fuel. I tell you what, saving that fuel was so tough. I thought I wasn't going to make it myself. I didn't know everyone else around me was also struggling, so...
Yeah, I saw the blinking lights on from multiple drivers there. I was keeping an eye, Reds was on for a long time. Lesty's was as well, Scanny. So, majority of the field was struggling there in the end. I'm like, this is going to be interesting if they make it. I'm like, they'll save enough. And I guess with Lesty fighting too hard and Reds fighting so hard to get back up to you after those 2 mistakes, he was basically burning fuel like it was no one's business and too little too late. But I guess the last question I have is, again, you will grow your lead here, and there is a chance you can clinch in Abu Dhabi. So going into Abu Dhabi, is it going to be business as usual, or is that going to be in the back of your mind?
I won't think about it, because the last few championships I've fought for, I've overfought it, and then I've made a mistake and crashed out. So I'll just try and relax, pretend it's a normal race, and just go for it. And hopefully I can try and get it. But these guys are quick. I found that out today, and yeah.
There's some quick boys in this league, and they can bring the thunder any week, so you have to be on your toes, and one mistake, and Smitty's back in it, even with Maddie, so got to keep your form and keep your nerve. But again, thank you for joining me here at Kai's F1. Maybe at the form you're going, we'll probably see you next week, but will it be with a title in your hand, or will it just be a normal celebration? Only time will tell on that. But next week, as we have said, is Abu Dhabi. It will be the same time, 8 p.m. British Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, I'm Pepsi 212. I'm signing off, and thank you, and